This is my favorite part, guys. What's going on? What's going on? Mic check. 1 2 1 2. You guys ready for this? All right, here we go. Let's go. Hey guys, what's going on? Good afternoon to people in the Midwest and on the East Coast. Good morning to people on the West Coast. This is hashtag TNT JoeFi, tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am Jerome Ortega. Also, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone else around the world. I know that this is more than just the US, so I do want to thank everybody for stopping by. Today is Memorial Day here in the US, and it's, you know, that time of year where we celebrate summer, but that's kind of weird because it doesn't, I mean, it's warm today, which is great, but I can't, usually today I would be getting ready for a barbecue and I can't do any of that because we're stuck in quarantine. So you know what? Let's do something here instead online. Let's talk about tech. Let's have a Memorial Day barbecue tech style. That doesn't sound fun at all. I see a new member, Hopkins. Hopkins is a new member, a new YouTube member, part of the Phone Jerome squad, Phone Jerome team, Phone Jerome, whatever you want to call it, crew community. Hopkins, thank you so much for being a new member. I do appreciate it. I think I need 2 more members or 3 more members, and I can add another new emoji. If you guys don't know, I might as well plug this right now. If you are a member of my live stream, or if you are a member of my channel, you get access to, your name turns green, you get a red Chicago star next to your name, and you get to use custom emoji. Like there's a Terminator emoji, Chicago flag emoji, and just Apple, Android, whatever. And I get to add on to that the more members that join, but you also get your intro and outro at the end of every one of my videos or my live streams. And then there are other perks. Anyway, to do that, I might as well share that real quick. So real quick, guys, if you want to be a member or if you're interested in being a member, you can just click the join button right here. And if you can't find that join button, all you got to do is go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. Otherwise, Hopkins, thank you. Oh, well, shit. Hopkins, first of all, thank you so much for being a new member. Joshua Dunker also being a new member. Joshua, thank you so much. Actually, I don't think I've seen you in here before. I've seen Hopkins in here before, but Joshua, you must be new to the channel, I'm assuming. Either way, thank you so much. I appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you being a new member. Thank you for the support. Guys, thank you so much. Let me go ahead and scroll up. I'm very shocked. I'm very surprised. That's very early for new members. So guys, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the crew, part of the squad, part of the community. If any of you are on a higher tier and have access to the Discord, I will give you that link later today. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much. We do have a lot to talk about today, but I do want to say hi to everybody. That's something I try to do for everyone in here. I see Brian's in here. What's up, Brian? What's going on, Paul? Mr. Hasselhoff, how you doing? Deepak Murthy, what's up, guys? What's up, Deepak? Nice to see you again. Ronaldo De Leon, what's up, everyone? What's up, Ronaldo? Nice to see you, man. Glad you can make it. Sean is in here as well. What up? What up, Sean? What's going on? I've been a long time subscriber. I know that Sean's been following me for a while. Hopkins says hello again. Hopkins, thank you for being a new member. Okay, Max Tech Studios, what's up? Hashtag TNT Joe-Fi. Not much, man. Just waking up, trying to get started. I mean, I've been up. I went for an hour walk today, guys. I walked 4 miles. So I've been doing my thing. Team Virai. Fuck, I forgot if that's how I pronounced it. But shout out from Manchester, Jerome. What's up, man? What's going on? Glad you could make it. I haven't seen you in a minute. Also remind me if I'm saying that correctly, or if it's very. I think it's for. I just let me know. Anyway, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay, let me scroll down, make sure I didn't miss anyone else. Nice cap, thanks. Cubs, just in a different colorway. I have a lot of them. Hopkins says, greetings from Central Europe. Well, thanks for making it, man. Glad you could make it. Okay, guys, let me see. Hopkins says, nice to see you again. I missed the streams last week. All good, man. No worries. Deepak says, getting bit by the Sony Xperia bug, but 1,200 euros, man. Yeah, I'm actually going to talk about that today. Yeah, very expensive. Team haha was correct. So Virai, right? I think. Anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by. Let's get started. Let's start talking about it. You know, I was kind of joking earlier in the thumbnail where I said Realme was releasing 30-something thousand new products. I hope none of you guys believe that. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't. Obviously, Realme had an announcement where they released 8 new products. So not 30,000 something, but 8. So I don't know if we're going to talk I don't know if we're going to talk about every single product that Realme came out with, but they came out with a couple new phones. They came out with a new watch. They came out with new truly wireless earbuds that look very, I think, reminiscent of AirPods. And we're going to talk about the Oneplus buds as well. So another truly wireless earbud or a set of earbuds that's coming out. Well, we'll talk about it. We'll see if any of them, you know, are worth it. The thing about Realme and having all these products come out, it's great. I think they had a new TV come out as well, but I don't know if the US is going to have access to any of them. I know China will. I know Europe will. I don't know about all of Europe, but I think a good portion of Europe is going to get these phones and some of these products, but I don't know if everyone else will. So we'll start off. This article from Tech Radar is talking about the Realme X50 Pro 5G Player Edition. So apparently this is their high-end one, or at least the high-end one that incorporates gaming. So it's going to be launched in China with 7 other products. And so here are the phones right here, Realme, and I've covered this before, but we'll talk about it. Let me switch this back. Realme has announced a whopping 8 new products in China today. The company has announced a couple of new TWS earbuds, a new flagship smartphone, and more. A few of the products were also announced in India today. The one thing I'm excited about to talk about these phones, at least from Realme, is how cheap they are. They are super cheap. Now, I know that people in the chat, and you guys make a really good point, is for some of these phones, we still don't know how good the support is or how long that they're actually going to, you know, I guess support it, update it, as far as like just customer service in general. The thing is, they're cheap. They're really cheap. So I also am not surprised if the support isn't going to be the greatest. But I think the one big thing about looking at this high-end Realme phone is the fact that it's a Snapdragon 8. When you guys think of a Snapdragon 865 chipset, how much do you think, if you think of the low point of a phone? If you if I tell you guys, because people in chat are typically, tech guys, and so I see Deepak. Remember, Jerome, Realme is Oppo. I'm still trying to figure that out. You know me, I'm gonna forget. But if I told you guys that a phone is coming with a Snapdragon 865 chipset, what is your first reaction when it comes to price? Is it, oh, that's the expensive end, so it's going to be at least $700, right? If I don't know if that's what goes through your head, but that's kind of what goes through my head when I think of the cheapest. When I think of the cheapest Snap 865 here in the States, it's what is it? The OnePlus 8 for $700, right? I guess there's the Poco F2 Pro, right? That is $540 US. That's going to have a Snap 865. But when I talk about something like this with a Realme, this is a Snapdragon 865 for $400 or around the $400 price point, which is crazy, which makes me think that in the US, we could probably price this a lot better, but I don't know. Let's talk about it. Let's read this article. So, Realme's new flagship smartphone, the Realme X50 Pro 5G Player Edition, Realme Oppo, I'm going to remember eventually, is the special version of the X50 Pro, which launched in India a couple of months ago. It's a gaming-centric flagship phone powered by a Snap 865 SoC paired with up to 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM and up to 128 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage. So the fastest kind of storage you can get right now. The X50 Pro Player Edition sports a 6.44-inch Full HD Plus or FHD Plus Super AMOLED panel with a 90 hertz refresh rate. The display supports HDR10 plus content support. It also supports 100% DCI-P3 color gamut. The only difference is the 48 megapixel primary camera, which uses last year's Sony IMX586. So what they're trying to say is there is a Realme X50 Pro that isn't the Pro Player Edition, and the X50 Pro has better cameras on it. Why they make so many variants, I don't know. I wish they wouldn't, but I think the X50 Pro doesn't use Sony IMX5. The X50 Pro uses Sony's IMX686 image sensor, not this Sony IMX586. So the X50 Pro uses the better camera. This does not, although I think it offers better RAM or LPDDR5, or it uses faster UFS storage, I think. Anyway, other sensors are an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens, 2 megapixel macro lens, a 2 megapixel black and white depth camera. Over at the front, we get a dual punch hole camera with a 16 megapixel primary and a 2 megapixel ultra wide camera. So it has a 4,200 milliamp hour battery with 65 watt. I guess they're calling it Super Dart charge support. But yeah, so 65 watt wired charging, which is super fast, 0 to 100% in just 35 minutes. A gaming centric device, which comes with a vapor chamber for cooling and keeps the temperature under control, which is pretty cool. Other additions include a 40 haptic vibration motor. I wonder how good that motor is when they say 40 haptic vibration motor. HyperBoost 3.0 gaming optimization. So it's priced. So they have all these different prices in different countries. I don't know the US versions offhand. CNY 2900, RS 32,000 for the 6 gig, 128 gig variant, or the high end one is the 12 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, priced at CNY 3599 or RS 38,300. If I remember that correctly, I think, because I have another article that just is talking about it. And I think in the US it's around $450, but the low end model you can get for, I think, under $400. I think $375 or something like that. So on top of that, they have something called the Realme Buds Air Neo. It's such a long name for earbuds. So Realme's second TWS and the light version of the Buds Air, the new Realme Buds Air Neo, is Realme Buds Air. without without a type C port and wireless charging. Except for these two features, everything else mostly remains the same. Uses a custom R1 chipset. I don't know. It looks pretty cool in red. I don't know. They look like AirPods to me. They can last up to 3 hours on a single charge and last up to 17 hours with the charging case. It comes in three colors: green, red, and white. And it prices at CNY 269 or RS 2900. Realme Buds Q is a third pair of earbuds. God, there were so many. After the Buds Air and Buds Air Neo. Okay. So it harnesses Bluetooth 5.0, lasts up to 20 hours, and then other products. So they announced a Realme watch. Oh, it looks like a power bank too, 10,000 milliamp hours with 18-watt fast charging. Here's a bunch of the other stuff. So this article here is talking about the Pro Player, talking about the graphite cooling. We kind of talked about this already. I'm not really going to get into that. I saw this picture and I started laughing because it just it just looks so goofy for a marketing shot. It uses Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Hyperboost will also switch between Wi-Fi to LTE or 5G with zero lag, which is cool. Whichever is quickest, so no drop in performance for online gaming. Great to know. I guess I should ask you guys: Are any of you guys interested in this? For you guys who live in Asia or in Europe, is this something that you guys even think about? Or for you guys who are looking for phones, are you more on the bigger end brands, Samsung, Google, Apple? I'm curious because I know there's some people in the States like Big House Productions. He's not here every day. I think it just depends on his work, but Big House Productions, he lives in the US and he buys a lot of these kind of phones. He'll buy Realme. I think he had a Realme come in recently, or Redmi, because I think, yeah, Redmi, I think. I think he's had Oppos too. Anyway, I'm just curious what you guys prefer. Here we go. This is where I got the $400 price point. So the X50 Pro Play, wait, is the X50 Pro Play the Pro Player edition, or is this something different? But look at that. Realme X50 Pro Play brings a Snap 865, 90 hertz refresh rate, and more for $400. We're not going to go through this whole article. I just want to get into the pricing here. In a market where a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 starts at above $600, Realme has proven yet again that competition in the market is indeed healthy. It has all the specs here. We've talked about this before. Here we go. 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, $380. That is super cheap. Super cheap for a Snap 865. Otherwise, you can get the 8 gig version for $420 or the 12 gig version for $460. At that point, in my head, I'm just like, well, I'll just buy the 12 gig version. Why not? Why wouldn't I buy the 12 gig version if it's a difference of $50 or so? The inclusion of the Qualcomm Snaps 865 means that the phone has 5G capabilities, which makes it yet another great phone for the emerging 5G market that's garnering across the world. A good majority of the hardware is found in flagship tier phones, but competing brands like Redmi and Realme deliver premium hardware in a mid-tier price range. In the end, the only problem that comes is availability. So it's going to set to launch in China June 1st. And then it's going to go to Europe and other regions. This is actually a really good sentence right here. Is that Redmi and Realme deliver premium hardware in a mid-tier price range. Think about that for a second when they're talking about these prices here at $380, $420, and $460, right? Around the $400 to $450 price range. And here we are in the States thinking about, hopefully the Google Pixel 4a is going to be priced properly. That $400 is what we're going to, or $350 is what we're going to see, or $400, which would be great, but it comes with a Snapdragon 765, or not even a 765. It comes with a 730. While these other phones are getting an 865. There are arguments against it, right? Because like I said earlier, we don't know about the support. We don't know how well the UI is going to be, as far as like if the phone breaks, again, how is that? How is their support going to be when it comes to things like that? Those are things to question. But here's the thing. In my head, at that price point, I would love to test one out just to see how well it works. And actually, I might take a couple minutes today to talk about my TCL 10 Pro. I've been using it now for the past couple of days, and there are some good things about it. There are some not so good things about it. I ended up taking pictures over the weekend because I'm currently working on a camera comparison video versus my Pixel 4. And then when I get time, I'm going to do it with the iPhone 11 Pro. But yeah, I have a few thoughts on the phone. It's there again. It has a few pluses and it has a few not so good pluses, but we'll talk about that. Maybe I'll talk about that after this, after I go through chat. So let's go back into chat, just see if I didn't miss anyone. And I'm sorry guys, I'm not going to be able to go through everything, but I will try. I'll try to say hi to everyone at least. Okay, yeah. Team Verizon says that's pretty cheap for an 865. I feel meh on the UI that Realme uses though, and that's how I feel. I'd feel the exact same way. And so my argument to that, or at least my thought there is, I hope that there will be support to go ahead and get it modded, right? To throw something like Lineage on there, or throw something like the Pixel launcher experience, or Pixel ROM, or I don't know what I'm thinking in my head right now, which actually will bring me to the point of I keep wanting to say HTC because I have HTC on my head because it's one of the articles on my TCL, because I didn't care for that skin at all on my TCL 10 Pro, and the very first thing I did was not mod it, but kind of just change things up on it for a bit, and I'm going to talk about that. So Deepak says here, in my heart, I'm a big HTC, Motorola, and Sony fan. Rarities in 2020, at least in Europe. Yeah, so I'm not big on HTC, but I have been big on Motorola, and I have been big on Sony. And one of the reasons I was big on Sony is the pure fact that I really like their compact flagship phones or lineup. But that's been a long time since I've had one, probably 2014 or so. 5 years or so, but yeah, we'll see about this new phone. I have that as an article as well. Okay, so let me scroll down here. I know you guys are also talking with each other, which is great. I see Grant in here as well. Hey Grant, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Too many phones. There's a lot of stuff that Realme is releasing, and it makes it kind of, yeah, I don't know. Again, the prices though, I can't complain about the prices. Deepak says here, I would still not buy the X50 Pro 5G for two reasons. Who knows about future software support? Very true. The UI is not so pretty, and I'm sure it isn't. And those things would probably annoy me right off the bat, or at least not the software. Well, yeah, the software support, but the UI is what would annoy me. I see Levin Williams in here as well. Good afternoon, everyone. Hey, Levin, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you get in here. Okay, let me scroll back down. Brian says they need stock Android and Gcam. That's how I feel. Grant says, really, everyone's saying the TCL 10 is pretty much stock Android. I don't know. And you know what? Maybe because I am such a purist. Here's the thing, Grant, is I've been using my Pixel 4 for so long now without any other Android. I mean, the only other Android I have other than my Pixel 4 right now is my OnePlus 6T, and I haven't really used that in a while. So going from my Pixel 4 for since October, and then getting this TCL, it's nothing like stock Android, at least to me. But I'm going to talk about that. I'm actually going to talk about that after I finish going through chat here. Yeah. So actually, let's talk about that real quick. So guys, the TCL here's the thing about this TCL 10 Pro. I think the build quality is really great on this phone. I actually am very impressed with the build quality. It is a full screen. Oh shit, that's not what I meant. I turned on the flashlight. It's a full screen display, which is really nice. It has a in-display fingerprint reader. And when I first was talking about it, I had trouble unlocking the phone at first. And somebody in chat, and this is something I've done as well, is they recommended that I use my fingerprint. So what I did is I used my thumb twice, right, to unlock the phone. I put two of the same fingerprints on just my thumbs on my left and right thumbs, and that helped it a lot. The fingerprint reader is still slow, but it's very accurate. So now most of the time I just throw my thumb on there and it's fine. So when I unlock it, I can't I the when I unlock it, it's not bad. And it unlocks faster when the screen is well, see, it didn't work there, but I'm also at a weird angle. So it's not bad. The fingerprint reader is good. The screen is really nice. Build quality is really nice. Like the build quality on this, even compared to my Pixel 4, like it feels really good in the hand. It has like this matte finish in the back that like fingerprints really won't get on it, and you can see it has like this color gradient, right? So it's darker at the top and then lighter at the bottom. So that's really nice. And it has, okay, here's the thing. So it has the power button is on the right side and the volume rockers are right above it. They're all premium quality feeling, but there's a physical button on the left, a customizable physical button. And here's the thing about this TCL 10 Pro. You can customize it in any way you want to give it different actions. So if I press it once, so how I customize it is when you press it once, I have the flashlight come on and you'll see it has two lights there, which is pretty cool. And what I did is, let me unlock it real quick. When I double tap, right? When I double, so you could do it to press it once. When I double tap it, and you see the timer go off there, that is to screen record, which is awesome because the one thing I've been waiting for on Android, for Google at least, is to put a screen recorder on it. So like, it'll record it, and I mean, I'm stopping it here, and then if I hold down, sorry, it's just I'm looking at the webcam, guys. If I hold on that physical button, right, I have assistant come up. And it's doing what it's doing. So that's really nice too. Here's the thing. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you look at my screen, I customized it with Nova Launcher because I didn't like how it comes stock. And so what I did is I put the assistant and the search bar at the bottom. I put the icons. I added like the pixel date and weather. And if you notice, there is so when you get the TCL 10 Pro or any of the TCLs, it has a nav bar at the bottom. It doesn't have gestures on it. And if you notice, I don't have a nav bar at the bottom. I was able, and actually Brian in chat helped me with a lot of this, but I put Nova Launcher on it and I skinned it the way I wanted to, so it's nice and clean. And I even added, why is that? Did I not? God damn it. Why am I not? There it goes. It's because, okay, that's another thing I'm going to complain about is the screen, the curved display. And I can't, maybe it's just because I'm like angled wrong. What I'm trying to do is, it's because of the way I'm holding it. No, and not, there you go. Why is it? Oh, that's why, because it's edge. Sorry. So I was able to add Google Discover, right? And that's not something that comes stock on it either, which is great. Swipe down for notifications, swipe up for apps. I tried to make it as pixel-like as possible, and gestures even work. So, like, let's say, hold on, I'm just trying to open stuff up here. I don't know why I have this article here about Will Perdue. He's a Bulls player, but like if I swipe from the edge to go back, it'll go back to the other pages. So all of those gestures work. If I if I, like, let's say I'm in here and then I swipe up, it'll bring me back to the home screen. So all the gestures are in there. And I used an app called FNG, which is Fluid Navigation Gestures. And that works really well. I ended up actually buying the Pro Edition because if you didn't, well, the Pro Edition just makes it seamless. It makes it more Google-like. And to get the Google Discover on here, you have to use something called Nova Companion. And that's part of Nova Launcher. Well, it's an addition, I think, an add-on to Nova Launcher. So as far as now the experience using it, it's really good. Here are my gripes with the TCL 10 Pro. I didn't mean to really talk about all of this today. I was actually going to make a video about it, but we're here, we're talking about it. I might as well. And so build quality is really good. Display is really good. And surprisingly, with a Snapdragon, Snapdragon 675, the performance isn't bad on it at all. It is it is surprisingly good in some ways. And then when the lag comes, it will hit hard. And here's the thing, it doesn't happen often, but I've noticed it when I use Chrome. There was one point when I was using Chrome and like the phone got super hot, and then the phone started to lag. And when it lags, it becomes really noticeable. So that was an issue. And then another issue I had was the curved display on the phone. Yes, it looks nice in theory, right? I mean, but having a phone that looks nice, the sacrifice with that having a curved display are the accidental touches. The one thing that happens to me the most on this phone are the accidental touches. More often than not, I'm always fucking up on the keyboard or when I'm typing, and that doesn't leave me with a good taste in my mouth. Like I just end up, Brian knows, because I was talking to him, I think, in chat, and I was getting pissed off already because I was getting so tired of making mistakes on the phone, and like that was an issue for me. But I will say, for someone who's more of a light user, the TCL 10 Pro with the Snap 675 is not bad, which gives me hope for the Pixel 4a with the Snapdragon 730, although I don't think it's going to have anywhere near the build quality of this TCL 10 Pro, which which leads me to the camera on this phone. The camera on this phone is okay. You guys will see the results when I put my camera comparison out. I'm working on that today, and hopefully I'll have a video out either later today or tomorrow. The camera really struggles. People have been posting. I've seen people post pictures on Twitter and Instagram of the TCL 10 Pro, and a lot of them come out good. And I think it has room for good pictures, but it also has, oh God, sometimes the pictures are awful on it. Sometimes the saturation is too much, way too much. Low light, you guys will see. We'll go through it. We'll talk about it. I'll have a separate like higher production video, but here's the thing. This is a $450 phone. This TCL 10 Pro is a $450 phone, and I have a hard time recommending it because I know that there are other phones right now that that are going to give it a good run for its money. The TCL 10 Pro, if you want a phone that has good build quality, if you want a phone that has a nice display, right, a big display, it's not bad for that price. But if like a camera is more important to you, if performance is probably more important to you, you might want to hold off. But again, I've only had it for a few days, so I haven't had all the time in the world to talk about it, but you know, we'll see. At least these are kind of my first impressions with it. And I'm just being as transparent as I can be. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. You know, I don't know if the lag started because I put Nova Launcher on it and I got rid of the nav bar at the bottom. Maybe that's affecting it, but I don't know. That's my experience with it. I'll probably throw it back to stock again just to like make sure that what I'm experiencing now isn't really what's happening because of the stuff I added to it. But if that does change, I will let you guys know. So yeah, if you guys have questions though, let me know and I'll be happy to answer, especially if you're thinking about getting the phone. I'll be happy to answer those questions for you guys. Let me scroll back up here. Let me see. Okay, let me scroll down. Deepak says, is the TCL bloated? I thought it was almost stock. It's not bloated. And luckily there were apps that I was able to disable. There were apps I was able to uninstall. There are a couple in there that I rather not have. I mean, there's light bloat, but it's not bad. It isn't bad at all. So I wouldn't say that. Let's see. Brian says it has a decent amount of stock elements from what I've seen, but certain things bug me, like lack of some gestures, different nav bar, and pull down shade. That wallpaper looks awesome. Yeah, it looks really nice. That's what it comes with the stock. Team Varaiga, accidental touches. It is the most, here's the thing is let me explain something to you guys. Here's the thing about these accidental touches. When you're sitting up, when I'm sitting like this and my phone is like in front of my face or whatever, for the most part, it's fine. When I'm if I'm just sitting down using it one-handed, it's fine too. Here's where I had an issue, and it was when I was in bed. I know it sounds weird to talk about, but when I was laying in bed and I was laying on my back and my phone was like this, right? Like, so I was, I had the phone up. You're gripping the phone like this, right? You're gripping the phone this way. So the palms of your hands are touching the sides of the goddamn phone. When your hands are like that, sometimes when you're trying to type, it will not register because the palm of your hands are registering the size of the phone. That is where it becomes an issue. And that's where like I was losing my mind because I'm like, okay, well, I guess I can't lay on my back and use my phone. People can sit there and be like, well, that's, don't lay on your back then. Well, fuck you. What if I want to lay on my back? Why does that have to be an issue? Why do I have to sacrifice something like that? Again, maybe if you don't lay on your back while you're using your, but I know there are some people who do. And yeah, I don't lay on my back for hours on end, but in the rare instance that I do, I mean, we sit, we stand, we lie on our side. It's just, that shouldn't be an issue. I shouldn't have an issue with that. So that's another thing. You know what I like about streaming is when I make higher production videos, I can't make these longer rants about it. So this gives me the opportunity to do so. And it gives me the opportunity to tell you how I feel about it. But yeah, otherwise it's not bad. I was actually surprised how well that F&G app works, that fluid navigation gestures. It surprisingly works well for a phone that doesn't give you gestures yet. I don't know if it will eventually give you gestures, but yeah, I was able to get rid of that. So to get rid of that nav bar at the bottom, you actually had to ADB into, I had to ADB into the phone and type a command to get rid of the nav bar. But it's pretty easy. If you guys, I don't know if you guys do ADB on your phone and you do that kind, but if you guys ever have questions on that, I'm happy to help. I've been doing that stuff for a while. I just haven't done it in a bit because lately I haven't really been messing with phones the way I used to, but now that I've been back and streaming, and it's brought that like excitement back to me when it comes to phones. Okay, so Deepak says curved edges are the most useless innovation in recent times. Again, they look nice. They just the use out of it, the efficiency out of it is not. It's nothing to be excited about. Let's see that. Hold on. T-Verizon says never use them on the S9. They look cool though. But yeah, Brian says everyone should ask if they would buy this phone over the OnePlus 7T. That's actually a really great question, or a really great thing to bring up, because why would you buy this over the 7T if the 7T is pricing at $499 brand new? That's a good point. That's a really good point. Deepak says the camera department is very, very highly experienced brands. Wait, what are we talking about? He says where the camera department is very. I'm missing the sentence there. I don't use the edge gestures on my Note 10 Plus. I don't use the edge gestures on anything. It was the first thing I turned off when I got this phone. I turned off the edge gestures. It's just not for me. I don't really care for it. Paul says I had a 7 Pro from SAT. I'm guessing you messed up there. Was curious about the curved screen. Wait, does the 7 Pro have a curved screen or is it a flat screen? Somebody let me know, because I don't know offhand. I wish I had a 7 Pro because I just want that selfie cam. But yeah, otherwise, guys, those are my thoughts on the TCL 10 Pro. It's not bad. It's not the worst. It has a few pluses, but it also has some like really a few gripes where I was just like, okay, let me get back to my Pixel. So yeah. Deepak says, sorry, I meant the camera department is where highly experienced brands shine. It's true. That's true. I can see that. I mean, I guess if you don't care about the camera, then, then it's something you might not have to worry about. But camera is big for a lot of people, I think, especially today. Okay, guys, let's go ahead. Let's go back into these articles. Let's talk about HTC. I know Deepak was saying earlier HTC was one of his favorites, so we'll talk about this here. HTV or this article from Android Authority is talking about how the HTC, still alive, could release a 5G flagship in the summer. Here's what we know. Here's a question for you guys: if HTC was to release a smartphone this year, would you guys be excited about it? Or how do you guys feel about these other brands making new phones anyway? Is there any excitement there, or do you guys just wait for the big brands to come? When I heard about this, I was like, well, my last HTC phone wasn't the best experience. I didn't use it much. The last HTC phone I had was a U11 and it looked nice and it felt very premium, but I never used it. I just, I don't know. I think at that point though, it was like 2018 and I had so many phones and it sat in my drawer for a while. Anyway, at this point, we've mostly written off HTC. The company hasn't had mainstream success in the smartphone space in years and barely releases phones anymore at all. However, the company confirmed it will release a 5G phone in 2020, and today we heard some rumors about this HTC 2020 flagship. Before we get into what we know so far about this, we need to clarify that the source information here was written in Chinese, so some things could be lost in translation. Okay, so according to my drivers, the new HTC 2020 flagship could come out as early as July, so just a couple months from now. However, that would likely be just in Taiwan and China, with a wider global rollout to happen weeks or even months later, if that happens at all. It's very possible this could be a greater China-only release. It's too early to tell. So the HTC 2020 flagship could feature a Qualcomm 865, putting it up against flagships from Samsung, OnePlus, LG, blah, blah, blah. For the phone's design, the translation of the article confuses us. On one hand, the text makes it seem if the new HTC 2020 flagship could be a continuation of the HTC U12 Plus design. I don't even remember what the HTC U12 Plus looked like, which would mean a large forehead and a chin, a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, etc. I don't know if they would do that at this point. However, the language also makes it seem HTC could update that design with the use of more modern trends, such as a display cutout or a water drop notch for the selfie camera. There could even be a pop-up camera. I'd be welcome for that, or I'd be welcome to that. Unfortunately, it's difficult to tell if my drivers is saying these design elements could be a part of the phone or won't be. This article seems very fluff, guys. There's not much in it. I didn't get a chance to read it, and it's like it could have this or it could have that. Let's make an article about it. I mean, I think at this point, they're just saying, hey, something might come out from HTC for 2020. As other specs go, including RAM, storage, cameras, were in the dark. Okay, there's nothing in here. Although the inclusion of the Snap 865 all but guarantees a high price. This is such a, are they saying there's another one coming too? A new mid-ranger. Okay, so there is a render here, or some kind of blueprint for it. In addition to the flagship, it appears the company could launch a 4G only mid-ranger this year. This device could be powered by a Snap 600 and possibly land as a Desire device. The supposed mid-ranger could land even earlier than the flagship. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows if HTC is going to come out with something. This does seem like a very fluff article, though. I don't know. Let me see here. Hawkins says, curved screen seems fine on the OnePlus 7T Pro. I hold my brother's phone in my hands. That's good. That's good to know. Paul says, on my side in bed, you have it in your hand and it constantly registered. Mupam. Yeah, I just... from Saturday till today. I gotcha. Hopkins says, yay, HTC. Absolutely, HTC excites me, but they should bring back physical volume buttons. Yeah, actually, I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. It registered the palm holding it up. Yeah, that's I don't know. It was a sore point for me. Something I never even thought about until I was in bed. Yeah, Brian saying, yes, HTC, give us physical buttons. Just be solid with basics, not useless design crap like having no buttons. Hopkins says, why release only in selected regions? Release globally, and I'm in. I hear you, man. I don't understand either. I'm not sure what the thinking is there. Maybe they know that the sales in the US aren't going to be the greatest. I don't know. Deepak says U11 was the last really good HTC. Cameras were awesome. Microphones and audio quality were top notch. UI is smooth even today. I got one in my zombie museum. How many phones do you have? I'm wondering. I sold most of my phones off. I think At this point, I have 5 or 6. No, I take that back. I have some older ones. I have like 9 or 10, but yeah, I used to have way more than that. I had dozens, I think, at one point. Um, anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if anything comes out of this HTC article. Okay, moving on, guys. Let's talk about OnePlus. Let's talk about uh wireless earbuds, truly wireless earbuds. I know that OnePlus has earbuds right now, the one wired, or it has one wire to it, and I don't like earbuds that have one wire. I tried it with the very first gen Pixel Buds and I didn't like it at all. Something that I returned actually after a couple of days, because I thought I could get used to it, but really for me at least, I think truly wireless earbuds is where it's at. If I want to be wired, I will be using a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. I would rather have that than have a one wire kind of deal. But right now I use AirPods Pro. Those are my go-to. I use them every day. And yeah, we'll see what's coming out with OnePlus for this. So OnePlus's first truly wireless earbuds could launch in July with an AirPods inspired design, which is weird because I saw this picture and I'm like, I don't know, it just seems so amateurish. I don't know if this is just like a leak, but hopefully it's not a marketing thing, because it just yeah. Anyway, the OnePlus Buds might debut alongside the company's rumored OnePlus Z smartphone. For you guys who aren't aware, the OnePlus Z is their cheaper budget, mid-range, whatever you want to call it, smartphone that is planning to come out in July. That is probably going to have either, they were saying, a Dimensity chipset in it, or a MediaTek, or not MediaTek. MediaTek is Dimensity, but a MediaTek chipset, or it might have a Snapdragon 765. 765G in it. The same chipset that you're going to find in the Pixel 5, most likely. So what you need to know: OnePlus's first truly wireless earbuds will apparently be called the OnePlus Buds. It's not a bad name to it. They're expected to feature an AirPods inspired design, and they're tipped to launch in July. So they launched its third pair of wireless earbuds alongside the OnePlus 8, called the Oneplus Wireless Z. That's what they called it? That's so confusing. So wait, they're going to have the OnePlus Z, which is going to be their phone. Then they're going to have the OnePlus Wireless Z, which is not really wireless. It has one pair of wire. Then they're going to have the OnePlus. I mean, at least the buds make sense. However, just like the previous gen wireless earbuds from OnePlus, the OnePlus Wireless Z are not truly wireless, which is why it bothers me that they call it wireless in the first place. According to a new tweet from leaker Max J, the company's first truly wireless earbuds will be unveiled in July. So the leaker claims the earbuds will be called the OnePlus Buds and feature a design that looks to be inspired by Apple's AirPods. While the design of the charging case appears to be slightly different, the earbuds themselves seem to be quite similar to Oppo's AirPods clone, the Enco. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, the Enco Free. Since OnePlus and Oppo are sister companies, it is possible that the OnePlus Buds will be similar to the Oppo Enco Free. Wait, is Oppo Realme? So Oppo, Realme, OnePlus, right? Do I have that right? I think. Okay, however, the image embedded in the tweet above is only an illustration and doesn't represent the final design of the OnePlus Buds. They'll probably debut alongside the mid-range OnePlus Z smartphone, which is also tipped to launch in July. It's rumored to be powered by a Snap 765 chipset, just like the upcoming Google Pixel 5. So we'll see. And I wonder what they're going to price it at. I wonder if it's going to have like ANC, active noise cancellation, or active noise cancellation, or if it's just going to be, just kind of an AirPods clone. What do the AirPods 2 price at right now? Is it like $169 or is it cheaper? I'm just wondering what these are going to price at. Anyway, let me see here. We're talking about yeah. I'll be curious about OnePlus Z. I'm okay with the Dimensity chipset. Yeah, I haven't used it. I'd look forward to see. I'd be looking forward to see. I want to see how well the Dimensity chipset does. I'm curious if it's gonna hang in there with something like a mid-range chipset like the Snap 765. But I wonder what OnePlus is gonna do. Deepak's asking how much is it gonna be priced. Not a big fan of media chips. Uh, okay, there you go, Deepak. He's saying Realme is a sub brand of Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus under BBK group. I'll try to remember. Yeah, how much is it going to be priced? We don't know. Uh, I think they were talking about a higher price point, but I think at this point, if they are going to release this OnePlus Z, I hope that they price it to be comparable with the Pixel 4a and the iPhone SE. I hope it doesn't go higher than that. If they price it above 500, I think OnePlus could be shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's going to, be something a lot better than we expected and it's going to be worth that money. But yeah, I don't know. And if it does price in cheaper, well, that's actually hard for me to say, because for them to price it along the iPhone SE and the Pixel 4a, it actually won't be priced around that price point because the OnePlus Z is going to have a 765 chipset. So it's going to be priced higher. Maybe it will be mid 500s. Maybe it'll be close to 600, which is really expensive for a 765 chipset, guys. I can't get on board with that, and hopefully it won't be. But maybe they'll set a different precedent, right? To think that if the OnePlus 8 is $700, maybe they'll put this at 500, which I could be on board with for $500. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. Okay, let's move on. This article I have from Tech Radar is about the Pixel 4a, and it's talking about and we talked about this already. So the Pixel 4a looks like it's going to be released later in the year with an announcement in mid-July, I think July 13th. And it might not even be for sale until August, which if it doesn't go on sale until August, I just don't know what I don't know what Google is doing. So this article from Tech Radar says no Pixel 4a release date. Google, you're ceding a major win to iPhone SE 2020. It's just disappointing for me to see. The iPhone SE 2020 could beat Google at its own game. That delayed Google Pixel 4a launch date may be just been further delayed if a new set of rumors are true, which is talking about the mid-July announcement for the Pixel 4a. And with that, Google is losing its hold on the mid-range market to the already released iPhone SE 2020. I agree. I completely feel the same way about this article, or what this article is saying. What a difference a year makes. Google put all mid-range smartphones on notice when it introduced the Google Pixel 3a in May of 2019. The phone inherited the best parts of its flagship Pixel 3 at nearly half the cost, and for almost a year, it reigned as the best cheap phone alternative to the priciest smartphones, thanks to the fact that it too took flagship worth photos. Plus, as a Google Pixel phone, it was one of the first to the Android 10 update. But now, with the anticipated Pixel 4a release date potentially slipping deeper into mid-2020, a value-focused contender has taken its place as the top mid-range phone for consumers who prefer longtime phone brands. The iPhone SE 2020 is the most affordable smartphone Apple has released since the iPhone 8 hit the market in 2017. And while the SE was rumored to be in development for years, the new iPhone SE couldn't have launched at a better time. Of course, iOS veterans have been waiting for an affordable Apple handset to replace their aging iPhone 7, iPhone 6s, and heck, even the original iPhone SE handset. But given all the belt tightening following to the coronavirus outbreak's impact on jobs and paychecks, affordability is likely even more appealing to consumers than ever. So when the iPhone SE finally came out in April, several years after initial rumors estimated it might be released, we were expecting a big showdown between Google and Apple's mid-range handsets. I was waiting for this as well. With the best iPhone chipset on the market, an A13 Bionic CPU, which is also found on the iPhone 11, we were gearing up to see how the iPhone SE would size up against the Google Pixel 4a. But every month without a Pixel 4a solidifies the iPhone SE 2020's hold on the mid-range market. I agree. Simply by being available, Apple is winning over consumers who need an affordable phone now. And that's where I feel that Google is missing its mark. It's doing a disservice to its customers by pushing this Pixel 4a later in the year. If so, we talked about this, and Google is saying it's market conditions or whatever, market something or another. But I think for a bit, Brian had said maybe it has something to do with the supply chain, which could very well be one of the reasons. But maybe they don't want to admit that. But I just feel like if they have product, they should put the product out. If it's going to be sold out, it's going to be sold out. And then, Google needs to do what they got to do. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know what Google's doing. Of course, I'm not ignoring the OS divide, and those waiting for an affordable phone that's lining up to run the forthcoming Android 11 update likely won't jump ship to the iPhone SE 2020, which runs iOS 13.5 now and will eventually get the iOS 14 update. But delaying the Pixel 4a may not lead to declining market share against other phones. Pushing it later in 2020 could lead it to cannibalize sales from Google's other big phone slated for 2020, the Google Pixel 5, which is a great point. This is something that I talked about also over the last week. My friend who has a OnePlus 5, who has a dying OnePlus 5. When I say dying, I mean his battery is going on his OnePlus 5. And he had come to me and he was asking me about the Pixel 4a because he doesn't want to spend a ton of money on the phone, but he was also open to the idea of spending a little more if there's a better phone. So I said, well, the Pixel 4a should be coming out in June, is what I was telling him. I said it was supposed to come out in May, but I think it's coming out in June. And then now I had to tell him, hey, it's coming out probably mid-July, and then it probably won't even be available until August. And then he texted me, or he had messaged me and was like, well, he's like, I'll just wait till October for the Pixel 5, and then I'll choose between the two. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, yeah, I mean, you can't blame him for that. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. People who might be wanting a phone right now, and actually, Big House Productions, who, he's in my chat quite a bit, he had told me that he's probably going to get the TCL 10 Pro instead of the Pixel 4a. Well, actually, a little later after that, he was like, I'll just probably get both. I'm like, okay. But you guys see what I'm saying is for them not to put this out now, I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. And I wish they just put the phone out and, give us the option to get that phone. Why not? I mean, I'm just being a tech nerd who just wants the phone right now, but I think if Google wants the sales, Apple already beat them out the gate with this iPhone SE. And I think really the only way that they can combat that is to put out that 4a as soon as possible. I don't know. Okay, let's see here. I see Theory, X84. Hey, Theory, welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. If the Pixel 4a is really ready and Google is just sitting on it, SMH, I know. Completely agree. Deepak says, why? It makes no logical sense. It really doesn't. I really don't know. Theory is saying, by the way, I'm on the OnePlus 3T. Wow, you're old school, man. And have to charge 2 to 3 times a day. Oh my God, yeah. So you feel my friend's pain worse than him, because what he told me is that by noontime, by lunchtime, his phone is at 60% battery life. So he's already and he says he's not even messing with the phone. So he's already halfway dead by noon. And yeah, for you to charge it 2 to 3 times a day, I can only imagine. Brian with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support. Brian continuing his streak of super chats. Brian's at probably 40 or 50 something in a row now. Brian, thank you for the support. Thank you for the super chat. Do appreciate it, man. Always do. It means a lot to me that, that support helps me pay for the streaming software, for the music licensing I get, and even for any phones I end up buying down the road for testing. So thank you, Brian. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I see Hopkins says, hell, even I was thinking about an iPhone and I never owned one. Yeah. Y 2019. Hi. Hey, Y. How's it going, man? Nice to see you. Paul is saying new battery. There you go. I don't know how easy it is to swap those out, but I'm sure there are videos on it too. And I'm sure there are a good amount of people who do that, but yeah, I don't know. Theory says wake up at 6 a.m. Maybe that's why. Maybe. Okay, so let's move on, guys. We're kind of rounding out the hour here, so I'm not going to get into too much more. Um, yeah, let's talk about this. Maybe we'll close it out here. I do have a couple other articles, but my sinuses are really messing with me right now. Both of my ears are popped, and like I can't. I don't know. You guys don't care. I just, but for me, I'm just like that's when I know it's time to like ring the bell. But let's go through this last article. So this article from VGR is probably not the best article to use because VGR is very Apple biased, which is fine. You know, we get to hear both sides, but Android is finally copying one of the best things about iMessage on the iPhone. So Google Messages end-to-end encryption support might be coming soon, which is great to hear. This is something that a lot of people in my chat or a lot of people in the little tech chat I'm in, you know, they've been talking about it, and I've been seeing this article, or I've been seeing articles like this everywhere. I don't know why I pulled the BGR one. It was just one of the first ones that popped up, so I pulled it up. Google's iMessage rival supports many of the same rich messaging features available in iMessage and many other chat apps, but end-to-end encryption isn't one of them. Google's currently testing an app update to its newest Messages app that would bring the security functionality over to Android default texting. A single iPhone app is important that it might keep you hooked to iOS forever, and that's iMessage. It's an SMS alternative that Apple devised many years ago, the one that brought over the blue message bubbles to mobile, which became a key identifier for iPhone users. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. Apple never made an iMessage app for Android or any other platform. And I mean, for iMessage to come out, that became it's such a a glaring, like, I guess, shining feature for Apple. You know that blue bubble means someone is using iMessage. You know when you get a green bubble that it's not someone's using an Android on the other end. And, you know, there's a weird stigma attached to that. Not everyone has that stigma, but you guys know what I'm saying. It's like, you know, when someone's using an iPhone, and it's such a weird, smart marketing move on Apple. I don't even know if they had planned to do that, but it is what it is years later. So, moreover, Google Messages is less secure than iMessage as it doesn't support end-to-end encryption, which is a key feature for messaging apps. Google's finally going to fix it as it's already testing full encryption on an internal build of Google Messages. So, other apps, including WhatsApp and Signal, also offer end-to-end encrypted instant messaging. Facebook confirmed last year that all of its properties that can provide chat support, including Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram, will move to end-to-end encryption. With that in mind, Google can hardly afford not to match those offerings when it comes to mobile security standards. End-to-end encryption is referenced in Google Messages 6.2.031, blah, blah, blah. Google's RCS platform will work similarly, and you'll probably be able to customize your RCS experience. On the iPhone, you can choose not to send messages as SMS, MMS when there's no internet. The code also indicates that when sending location data to your contacts, the information will be encrypted. Also, you'll be able to allow apps to access the contents of your messages. Also, both parties might have to use Google Messages to take advantage of end-to-end encryption, although other RCS apps could also get support in the future. It's unclear when this particular version of Google Messages will be launched or whether end-to-end encryption will be enabled soon, but it does look like the kind of security feature that could be advertised for Android 11. Yeah, RCS is a great technology that, or whatever app feature, whatever, that I would love to see ultimately be used universally in the Android space. I just don't know how widely adoptable it's going to be, especially if they're not forcing people to use it. I know Galaxy phones apparently are going to start just doing RCS default, or at least it's going to come default maybe. And I think all the Pixel phones should do it, so everybody can start getting on board with RCS. I would love to see it because the features on it are great. It would be nice to have something that's more secure, obviously. And whether that comes or not, I just don't know how they're going to roll it out. If they're going to be as seamless as Apple with iMessage. And I've said this before, the one great thing about Apple is their messaging app. You just use it. and you're automatically in iMessage. Like that's how it works. And with me, when I tried to use RCS, it was this whole labored process. Like I turned it on, I tried to get it to work and it didn't work. And I tried so like I had to Google different ways to get it to work. And I had to like use this weird like turn this off first and then restart and then turn this feature on and and that was the only way I could finally get RCS to work on my Pixel. And now it works and it's great. And you know, we talked about this not too long ago. There was an update where you could do React messages to it, right? Where you could hold down on the message and you could give it a thumbs up or a laugh or whatever. What I can't remember all the emoji that were attached to it, but that's a great added feature as well. And I'd love to see all this stuff come in, but I just don't know how widely adoptable it's going to be. And then again, at this point, I've also said I just use Telegram. And Telegram has mostly everything I need. And Telegram is such a great messaging app, and I love it. And I wish I could get everyone to use it, but that's hard for me too. So anyway, that's about it. Let me just go through chat real quick again. Let me see here. Why is saying Jerome, it seems 5G is coming to the Snapdragon 6 series, though where I live, 5G is not a thing, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, you know, whether 5G is going to be a thing sooner or later, probably more later than sooner, but I wouldn't worry about 5G at this point. If it comes to the Snapdragon 600 series, great, but how many people are really going to be using it, or how beneficial is it going to be for people, even if it comes right now or next year? I mean, maybe by next year, maybe late next year, it's going to be a lot better, but you know, who knows? Deepak says, yeah, Telegram is awesome. It's fucking great. I love it. One of my favorite apps. I would love for them to add React messages as well, where I can actually, you know, take a message and give it a thumbs up or whatever. But that's the one feature I've been waiting for a lot. But yeah, so we'll see. I do have a couple other articles, guys, but I'm just, again, my sinuses are messing with my ears. I can't really hear out of either ear right now, and it's annoying me. It's weird. I think it's just all the talking eventually makes it pop, and I don't know. I'm either congested in that way, but okay. Otherwise, guys, real quick, let me just put this out there because I haven't had a chance. If you guys haven't had a chance to like the video, like the stream, please like the stream. For algorithmic purposes, I think liking the stream will help people find my stream. And it's a good way to get people in here, talk and chat, say what's up, engage in the community. And I think that's a really important thing. If you guys haven't subscribed, feel free to be a subscriber. I stream Mondays through Fridays around 12 p.m. Central. Now it's around 1 p.m. Central. Today's even later. And that was because I was actually recreating the new intro and outro. But yeah, feel free to be a subscriber. I do stream every day, talk about tech news, try to spend the hour with everybody. And if you guys are new or you're just getting in here and you see chat and you see some people with green in their name and a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are a member of my channel. To be a member of the channel, it's real easy. You could do so for as little as 99 cents a month. You'll get that red Chicago star next to your name. You'll get to use certain emoji or custom emoji. And then depending on what tier you get access to my private Discord, or you get to see my higher production videos earlier than anybody else. Anyway, all you got to do is click that join button, or you can go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And that's it. That's usually how that works. But I do want to thank everybody today. I want to thank actually all the new members today who joined. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. I want to thank Brian for the super chat as well. And then everybody who just came by to say hi, say what's up. I do appreciate it. I know today's Memorial Day, and for those that are celebrating it, I know most of us are probably just going to be stuck at home today, but you know, if anything, just try to enjoy the day. I will. I'm busy anyway. I'm just going to be working, so it doesn't really matter. But I do want to thank you guys for stopping by and taking the time to come into chat and talk and say what's up and just enjoy this hour. And we'll do it again tomorrow. So don't forget, tomorrow around 12 to 1 p.m. Central, hopefully. And yeah, we'll do this all again. And if you got anything to talk about, make sure to leave it in chat. And I think that's it. I'm going to try to clear these sinuses because it's bothering the fuck out of me. But let's do it again tomorrow, guys. I will see you then playing the outro. Guys, thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Have a good one.